Welcome to the Payroll Configuration page in Admin module. This page allows you to configure the salary structure, overtime rules, and company-specific payroll settings for different employee roles. First, select the employee role for which the payroll configuration needs to be defined. Configure the salary components by assigning percentage values to each component. The total percentage should equal 100%, ensuring an accurate salary distribution. Now, let's move on to the OT rate configuration section. This section is used to configure how overtime is calculated for employees. You can choose to calculate the OT rate, either from the employee's salary or by using a fixed amount per hour. If you select Calculated from Salary, the system automatically calculates the OT rate based on the employee's salary, OT basis days, and shift hours. The OT amount is then calculated according to the employee's overtime hours, and an example formula is displayed on the screen for easy reference. If you select Fixed Amount per Hour, enter the OT rate that should be paid for every overtime hour worked. The system will calculate the total OT amount by multiplying the fixed hourly rate by the employee's OT hours. You can also configure different OT multipliers for special working days. Set the holiday OT multiplier to define the overtime rate for employees working on company holidays. Set the week-off OT multiplier to define the overtime rate for employees working on their weekly off. Set the working day OT multiplier to define the overtime rate for employees working beyond their regular shift hours. The selected multiplier is applied to the base OT rate to calculate the final overtime amount. Once all the required settings are configured, save the configuration to apply the OT rules to the selected company and role. These settings ensure overtime is calculated according to the organization's payroll policy. Note, the global configuration for all employees must be completed before processing payroll. Any missing or blank configuration may affect the payslip calculation and could result in a zero salary being generated in the payslip. In addition, the field label configuration allows organizations to customize the names of salary components based on their company policies. This helps display payroll components using terminology that matches the organization's standards and improves the clarity of payroll reports and payslips. Click Save Labels to save the field labels. Now, let's move on to the next section, Company Role Configuration. This is a pro feature of the eBLACKDOG security and facility management system. Access to this section is available only if the company role configuration feature is included in your subscription. Once this feature is enabled for your license, you will be able to access and configure role-specific settings for your company. This allows organizations to maintain company-specific payroll settings. Select the company and role for which you want to configure the payroll settings. You can either use the global configuration or create a custom configuration based on the company's payroll requirements. If you choose global configuration, all the salary components and payroll settings defined in the global configuration will be applied automatically to the selected company and role. If you choose custom configuration, you can define salary components specifically for that company and role. Assign a percentage value to each salary component according to the company's payroll policy. Ensure that the total percentage of all salary components adds up to 100% to achieve an accurate salary distribution. Then set the OT rate for holidays. Save the configuration to apply the OT rules to the selected company and role. Just like the global configuration section, you can also rename the salary components to match the company's policies and payroll structure. Once all the required configurations are completed, save the settings to apply them to the selected company and role.